that's going to be more of your troubled times. This morning we're fine out there. Actually a pretty nice, albeit chilly start to the day. Taking a look here, 84 in Vernon, moving just fine on 84 through those Vernon, those Manchester, East Hartford exits into the capital city. Everything checks out just clear and on time for I-84 travelers. About the same thing on the shoreline. No reports of any crashes to work around. Things are moving very nicely. Taking a look here, I-95 in Westport, southbound cars look great. Not a lot for northbound travel either. Both 95 and the Parkway really in very nice condition at this point. That's your real-time traffic. Back over to you.
Thanks, Kayla. Back now to our coverage of Decision 2012. One of the races we were watching very closely in our state legislature was the Senate race between Len Suzio, who's been a vocal critic of the governor, and his Democratic challenger, Dante Bartolomeo.
In a bit of a surprise to both candidates, Bartolomeo defeated the Republican Suzio for his 13th district seat.
I paid a price for standing up to the most powerful people in the state of Connecticut. I had hoped that we could overcome those tremendous odds, but it was not meant to be, apparently.
We all believed in the fact that we needed a voice to represent working families and women and seniors and children in education. And that's something that I promise you that I will support.
Now, Suzio says he believes his criticism of the governor, including his early prison release program, cost him the race.
One of the most closely watched races in Connecticut was, of course, the race for the 5th District congressional seat won by Elizabeth Esty. But the other congressional incumbents faced challenges. Here's a breakdown of the results. They all did win in the 1st District. Democrat John Larson defeated Republican challenger John Decker. In the 2nd, Joe Courtney defeated his challenger Paul Formica. In the 3rd, Rosa DeLauro goes back to Washington, defending her seat against Republican challenger Wayne Winsley. And in the 4th, incumbent Democrat Jim Himes has been reelected, defeating Steve Obsitnik.
So what do all the results mean for the state? Well, let's go to our political analyst, Patrick Scully. He's had a late night, long day yesterday. He joins us now to break it all down. You holding up over there, Patrick?
Oh, absolutely. It's all adrenaline right now. It was a great day yesterday.
I know you love this stuff. All right, let's start in the 5th District, obviously where Elizabeth Esty narrowly beat Andrew Rohrabach, keeping the state's congressional delegation entirely Democratic. So what does this say, Patrick, about the state?
Well, it says two things. The race hinged on two things. One, it shows how difficult it is for a Republican to run in either a congressional district or certainly statewide when you have such a popular Democrat at the top of the ticket. And, of course, Obama carried the state handily. Also, Rohrabach needed to win the towns in the northwest corner in the Farmington Valley, but needed to win them big enough to offset his losses in Waterbury and New Britain and Danbury, and he just couldn't do it. But that's not to say Elizabeth Esty deserves all the credit in the world. I thought this one would go to Rohrabach, but Esty was out there and ran a great campaign.
What kind of impact do you think she'll have in Washington?
Well, she'll be a freshman, obviously, and she's a moderate, so she'll get in there and mix it up. You know, she's extremely smart, she's extremely engaging, so I think she'll do well.
Let's turn to the Senate race now. How much influence do you think Chris Murphy will have in the Senate?
Well, that remains to be seen. I think he's got a lot of good connections. I mean, we saw the television ad with Barack Obama. So I think he's very diligent, he's very hardworking, well-spoken, and a great candidate, obviously.
Patrick, thank you so much. I have a million other things I can ask you, but we're out of time, so we're going to break down the presidential race ahead in our next half hour, so stick around.
Great.
Get that man a cup of coffee.
Or 5.
Social media, of course, had a tremendous impact on this year's election. Let's check in with Shirley for more on that part of the story.
Yeah, well, not only did they vote, but they also Facebooked and they tweeted. Election Day 2012 is being called the most tweeted event in U.S. political history. Now, there are even some reports of at least 20 million tweets as of late last night, all having to do with the election. Now, people tweeted pictures of themselves waiting online to vote. Others took their complaints about polling locations to social media. Celebrities also took to the Twitter world. Lady Gaga tweeted, "I voted, did you?" And Stephen Colbert, "Anyone who can cut taxes for free has got my vote. Hashtag YouTube politics." Now, Mitt Romney, his last tweet was late yesterday afternoon, tweeting, "With your help, we can turn our country around and get America back on the path to prosperity. Please vote today." And the first tweet from President Obama after he was declared the winner was this: "This happened because of you. Thank you." 20 million tweets at least. That is just remarkable. Carrie Lee, back to you.
What a night it was. Shirley, thanks so much. Busy night even on social media.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't